Hello again, YouTube. Once again, sorry for the shitty webcam quality of this video. I have officially purchased a camcorder and video editing software. So as soon as they arrive, my videos will start to improve dramatically. And I think I'll start uploading them more regularly. So, what are your thoughts on people having sex, specifically before marriage? I am sick of the double standard held in the United States, where men are rewarded for going out and having as much sex as possible and with as many people as they like, while women are shamed and taught to live quietly. Growing up, we are taught very different things based on our gender. Parents buy baby dolls and other such toys for little girls that teach little girls to be domestic and demure, while parents then buy Hot Wheels and action figures and Legos for little boys to teach them to be manly and tough. Legos teach little boys to build things. Hello, carpentry. Hot Wheels, car lovers unite! And action figures? Let's just take a look at G.I. Joe, shall we? Now let's look at little girl toys. All those little baby dolls, especially the ones that actually cry and pee, they're only teaching little girls to take care of babies and take care of a household. How about the Easy Bake Oven? It's important for little girls to learn that they're going to have to cook and clean, so that when they're married they can please their husbands. That is what an Easy Bake Oven is teaching little girls. Assuming that they've got cisgendered parents who are teaching their little girl to be a girl, basically. There are these gender roles in society, and that's what we're taught growing up when we're little, when we're kids. And it's absurd. Okay, little girls are expected to show emotion. They're expected to cry over things, and when they do, they're told that they're overreacting, and they need to calm down. As far as anybody else is concerned, the little girl was crying over nothing. Meanwhile, little boys are told, boys don't cry, and they're told that if they show emotion, it's showing weakness. Oh, don't let anybody know that you're upset, because you're just gonna look weak. Oh, but if you're angry, that's fine. Anger is a sign of strength, yeah. And you wonder why we have so many violent, angry, fucking young men in our society now. Furthermore, we teach girls that their virginity is something to give up. Girls are taught that giving their virginity to a boy is a gift, and it's special, and that they need to wait for just the right person. I don't disagree with waiting for the right person, but here's my problem with this view. We don't teach boys the same thing. We never tell boys, wait for the right girl to give it up to. Instead, we pat them on the back for finally hitting that, getting some, getting laid, tapping that. Parents don't care who boys choose to lose their virginity to. They don't give it a second thought. This brings another point to mind. I hear it all the time. A woman is pregnant and she and her husband know that she's going to have a little girl. The husband comes to work and goes on a tangent for hours at a time about how he's never going to let any boy touch his little girl, and how she's going to be his princess, and if anybody ever touches her, he'd better watch out, because Dad will hunt that little asshole down. The fathers-to-be go on about how they're going to put a chastity belt on the girl the instant she hits puberty, how they're going to dress her like a boy to make her unappealing or unattractive so that boys don't want her. Why is this such a problem? Well, first of all, what about little girls who want to dress in a more tomboyish fashion? What about the fact that girls can still find boyfriends and have sex even if they do dress boyishly? And what about lesbians? I don't think a lot of fathers-to-be consider the idea of their little girl being a lesbian. And honestly, the bigger problem for me is, once again, the double standard. Parents don't they don't do this with boys. They say, oh sure, I'll teach him to be responsible and use protection, and if he gets a girl pregnant, he'll be out on his ass to take care of her and do the right thing. But they'll still go on about how they'll be patting him on the back for getting laid. We live in a rape society, where girls are taught not to get raped, instead of us teaching boys not to rape. Girls are told they need to protect themselves and keep their bodies covered so that boys won't want to come after them. Boys aren't told that girls need to say yes first. Boys aren't taught what consent looks like. There have been times when friends, good friends, who stop their buddies when they're doing something stupid, will stand by and say nothing while their buddy rapes a drunk, passed-out girl, because what they're seeing isn't violent. The girl didn't say no. The girl isn't fighting. That means it's not rape, right? It can't be rape if it isn't violent, right? Wrong. But this video isn't about rape. This video is about slut-shaming. I am so sick of seeing everyone going around calling women sluts and whores. Women who enjoy sharing their bodies with other consensual adults are not sluts. Prostitutes are not sluts. They're prostitutes. Okay. There are male prostitutes as well, but you never hear anybody calling a man a slut. The word slut is a derogatory term used to put women into a tiny little categorical box in which nobody fits. Why do you feel so compelled to cast judgment on those about whom you know absolutely nothing? You don't know how that woman lives her life. Just because she slept with 15 people and she's only 25 doesn't mean anything. Her current boyfriend is 27 and has slept with 30 people. What do you have to say about him? When some people might say, "You're right, Zakia. Slut-shaming is wrong. Women aren't sluts. Sluts are those disgusting, disease-ridden whores who go out flashing their ass to everyone and opening their pussies to anything that moves. They're disgusting and have no self-respect and are filthy." To this, I say no. Just because you believe that slut-shaming is wrong does not mean that you are not perpetuating the problem with the judgmental view that just because someone is of poor hygiene, that makes them a slut, or that it makes it okay for you to call them a whore. It doesn't. It is not your place to pass judgment. Women need to take a stand and teach their sons to respect other women. Boys need to be taught that emotions are natural to all humans, not just girls. People need to stop belittling girls for expressing their emotions. Boys need to learn what consent really looks like. Two fully conscious, aware human beings who have both said, "Yes, this is okay," before doing anything sexual. If the girl is unconscious or drunk beyond coherence, it's rape. Just because it's not violent doesn't mean it's consensual. And this goes for straight people, gay people, bi people, transgendered people, anybody. Anybody. Rape is rape. If a boy is passed out, just because he's got a hard-on from sleeping does not mean it's okay for the girl to jump on his dick and start riding it. Just because she thinks he might say yes if he were conscious doesn't mean anything. Maybe he really didn't want to sleep with you, even if you do have a nice rack. And the same thing goes for lesbians and gay men. If the man's passed out, that does not make it okay for you to fuck his ass. If the woman is passed out, that does not make it okay for you to take your strap-on out and go to town. No. Rape is rape, and it is not okay. Women also need to stop calling each other sluts and whores. It only makes it okay for men to call us sluts and whores, as Tina Fey said in the movie Mean Girls. It is not okay. Why are women so against one another? Why can't we stand together as a sisterhood and take the world by the balls? After all, men are at a disadvantage to women biologically. A man's genitalia is exterior, making it highly vulnerable, and its sensitivity is laughable. Why do we say, "grow a pair of balls," when we tell someone to be strong or buck up for something? Balls are weak and fragile, as Betty White says. It would be much more semantically accurate to say, "grow a pussy," instead. After all, vaginas can take a hell of a beating. Stop slut-shaming. Stop judging people for doing what they want to do with their own bodies. The fact that Susie Q next door has a different guy over every night does not affect your life, and it does not make it okay for you to call her a slut. If she were a man, you'd call him a champ. You'd say, my God, that guy is so lucky. He's got so much pussy, it's unbelievable. But because she's a woman, you think it's okay to say,
she's disgusting. What a slut, taking all that dick all the time.
No, it's not. It's not okay. And it needs to stop.